chọrọ udo, ezi udo, udo na-enye ezi ndụ. Ị chọrọ udo, ezi udo, udo na-enye ezi ndụ. Ọ ga-ebupụ abalị ghọrọ gị ehihie, njọ gị ka ọ ga-ebupụ abalị. Njọ gị ka ọ ga-ebupụ abalị ghọrọ gị ehihie, kwee ka Jizọs bata n'obi gị. The Bible recognized a woman, God in heaven, and the Elisha recognized the woman. Why? Because the woman is a very good woman. Good, G-O-O-D, good woman. A woman with a balanced wisdom. A woman who thinks like this, like this, like this, like this at all times without forgetting herself.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 8. And it fell on a day.
It fell on a day. Elisha happens to be a direct servant to Elijah. He was passing somewhere without knowing.
Elisha passed to Shunem,
where
was a great woman.
Where there was a great woman.
And the
woman is recognized by the Bible and was also recognized by her husband. And now, turn to Elisha, she was recognized by Elisha, the prophet of God. When will God recognize you as a very good woman in the church of God? From Shunem, go ahead.
Where was a great woman.
A great woman.
And she constrained him to eat bread.
She constrained. When she saw the prophet of the Lord, God Elisha, she constrained him. What does that mean? She begged him, sir, when you was passing, I see you as a holy man of God, and I am constraining you today to come and eat in my house. How many people have you seen suffering as I am suffering, preaching the gospel, whom you made out your mind to feed and to say, let me feed you? For preaching the gospel, I am interested. Not to everyone, but the woman constrained the holy man of God, God Elisha, not every man of God. But today, those who are giving prophecy in your street, you love them. Those whom no one called, you know. You can't just say that you didn't know that God did not call this person. You know. What made this woman to know that Elisha is from God? That same spirit that was in this woman should also appear to you and make you to know that not everyone is from God. Rather, God did not call these people. Have you heard where vulture is talking before? They said no. Come and see where vulture is talking. A whole human being is interested to hear vulture talking to you. A man who could not clean his head for over 12 years became your prophet. What next do you want to know?
She constrained him to come and eat bread. And so it was.
And so it was.
That he passed by.
As he passed by, the woman was saying, as he passes by,
he turned in teacher to eat bread.
He would turn to my house to eat bread because he is suffering. Hallelujah. While today, the Bible will tell you to pay tithe, you will not pay.
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
And she said unto her husband.
She now rushed her husband. No good woman would do something without telling her husband. Because both of them were living together. There was no quarreling between the woman, the Shunammite woman, and her old husband. Two of them are doing something togetherness. And anything the woman would do, her husband would love it. And anything her husband would do, the woman would love it.
Behold now, I perceive that this is an holy man
I
of God,
perceive Elisha as a holy man of God who passes here every month.
which passes by us continually.
Continually, he keep on passing.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
Let us make a little chamber,
Let's make a little house up on our own house.
I pray thee,
I pray thee, my husband.
on the wall, and let us set for him
Let
there
us set for him there
a bed,
bed,
and a table,
and
a stool,
a stool,
and a candlestick.
and a candlestick.
And it shall be,
It shall be
when he cometh to us,
when he cometh to us,
that he shall turn in
he
thither.
will not turn to our house and sleep. A very good woman. A very good woman. Today, the social media people will tell you, what are you doing? A man you didn't know, you bought bed for him, bought chair for him, bought candlestick for him, bought everything for him. Not only buying all these things, you still cook and prepare food for another man without your husband. Who is your husband to be compared to the things of God? Why must you listen to the social media men who knew no God? Who directed them? Where did they see God? How do they know him? Why are you listening to unbelievers? Look at the way-to-do woman in Shunammite who even ran to her husband. But did you know that her husband did not see the man? It's always women who always remember God in heaven. Her husband was not seeing the holy man of God. It was his wife that was seeing the holy man of God. Where was her husband? All this while, the man was moving hither and thither. Where are the husband? He's nowhere to be found.
Verse 11. And it fell on that a day
And it fell on that day
that he came thither,
the man came thither,
and he turned into the chamber
and he turned to the house built for him.
and lay there.
This is Elisha, the holy man of God, the man who served Elijah. And who is Elijah? The man who went into heaven of heaven without tasting death.
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
And he said to Gehazi,
Time come after staying like 3 months or 4 months in Shunammite. Elisha called Gehazi, his personal servant, and said to him,
call the Shunammite.
call the Shunammite woman for me.
And when he had called her,
When the woman came,
she stood before him.
she stood before him.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
And he said unto him,
He said unto Gehazi,
say now unto her,
now say unto her,
behold,
behold,
thou hast been careful for us with all
be
this care.
careful for me and my servant without complaining all this while.
What is to be done for thee?
What can I do for you? He was asking the good woman. Good woman is not found. Good woman. This one God recognized is not found.
Wouldest thou be spoken for to the king,
The prophet of the Lord said to the woman, the Shunammite woman,
or to the captain of the host?
you have cared so much for me and my servant Gehazi. Can I go and speak on your behalf to your king or to the captain of your place? And the woman answered, look at the woman that has no trouble.
And she answered, I dwell among my own people.
I dwelleth among my own people. Number one.
Verse 14.
Verse 14.
And he said,
what
then is to be done for her?
What then can I do for you, woman, because of her goodness, because of how much she cares? What then can I do for you, woman?
And Gehazi answered, verily she had no child.
Gehazi now answered Elisha, not God revealing to Elisha. God not revealed to Elisha. He hold Elisha, whom his master went to heaven alive without tasting death, that the woman did not have a child. And go ahead.
And Gehazi answered
Elisha,
verily she had no child.
Verily she had no child.
And her husband is old.
And her husband is old. Who is now informing Elisha? Gehazi, his direct servant. God did not reveal to Elisha that this woman did not have a child. God did not reveal to Elisha that this woman, her husband is what? Old. Are you listening to me? Today, you would want God to reveal everything to intercessor. Which means Elisha was in the house of the woman, eating for all these 5-6 months without God in heaven revealing to him what was going on in the family. Don't you know that what was going on in your family is late for you, and you are to complain? And when God is willing, he can reveal. When he's not willing, you can make miracle for yourself.
And he said, about this season,
woman,
according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son. And she said,
and the woman said to the man of God,
no, my Lord.
No, my Lord. She now condescended herself very low to call him my Lord. Today, the social media will ask you, why are you calling the man of God my Lord, my daddy? Who told you to call him my Lord? Onyewem. Do you know the meaning of Onyewem? The heaviness of my Lord. The social media will interpret to you. Who are the social media people to tell you what you do unto God?
Thou man of God.
Thou man of God.
Do not lie unto thy handmaid.
Don't lie unto thy handmaid. Look at her, still reducing herself to the grade of handmaid. Boy in the house. A man who fed Elisha for 6 months was still reducing herself to handmaid. Boy, a maid in the house. Today, so many people, their wings will be up. Don't go that way. By going that way, you are drawing the anger of God upon yourself.
And the woman conceived.
According to the saying of Elisha, which he spake, the woman conceived.
And the woman conceived and bare a son.
The woman conceived and bare a son.
At that season that Elisha
had
said
unto her.
According to the time of life.
According to the time of life.
18. And when the child was grown, it fell on a day.
That could be after 6 years or 4 years.
It fell on a day that he went out to his father to the reapers.
The child went with the father to the farm with all the servants who used to go and pull out with the father. As they were farming,
and he said unto his father,
my head,
my head.
My head, my head.
And he said to
the legs,
carry him to the mother.
He said to one of the servants, carry the leg to the mother.
Verse 20. And when he had taken him,
and
brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees.
He sat on the knees of the mother
till noon,
till afternoon,
and then died.
The child gave up. Stop complaining to people. Stop telling them your problem. None of them can help you out of your problem. Keep your problem for yourself and your church where you go. If not, God will condemn you because of mouth. Did you know that when the child died, she went straight to carry the child to that bed he gave to the man of God? No announcement.
Verse 21. And she went up. And laid him on the bed of the man of God.
On the bed of the holy man of God.
And shut the door upon him.
And
went out. Verse 22. And she called unto her husband.
First.
And
said to him,
Send me. I pray thee. One of the young men.
Serving you there in the farm.
And one of the asses.
And one of the chariots.
That I may run to the man of God.
I may go to the man of God.
And call again. And he said.
And the husband asked her.
Whereof wilt thou go to him today?
Why going to the man of God today?
It is neither new moon. Nor Sabbath. And she said.
She answered the husband.
It shall be well.
It shall be well. A good woman. Not when your husband asks you. A good woman always have faith. A good woman always believe God. A good woman will love God no matter what is happening. And with such faith, God will surely do something.
Verse 24. Then she saddled an ass. And said to her servant.
Drive.
And go forward.
Don't stop. until I tell you to stop. Go ahead.
Lack not thy riding for me.
Go forward. Don't stop.
Except I bid thee.
Order you to stop.
Verse 25.
25.
She went and came unto the man of God.
She went to the man of God on the mountain.
To Mount Carmel.
To Mount Carmel.
And it came to pass.
And it came to pass.
When the man of God.
When the Elisha saw her.
Afar off.
Afar off. Listen very well.
That he said to Gehazi, his servant.
Elisha turned to Gehazi, nearer him at the mountain. Look at the Shunammite woman coming with speed.
Behold, yonder is that Shunammite.
Yeah, that's the Shunammite woman coming.
Verse 26.
26.
Run now. I pray thee.
I pray you
to meet her. And say unto her. Is it well with thee?
Is it well with you?
Is it well with thy husband?
Is it well with thy husband?
Is it well with thy child?
Is it well with that your child you born the other time?
And she answered. It is well.
It shall be well. Hello? Today, all of you have shamed God in your streets. Don't you know, when anybody hates you, as a good woman, as a good man you are, the person is hating your creator.
Verse 27.
27.
And when she came to the man of God.
And when she came to the man of God.
To the hill.
On the hill.
She caught him by the feet.
She held the man of God on his two legs.
But Gehazi came near to thrust her away. When
Gehazi came nearer her, holding the leg of Elisha, Gehazi removed the hands of the woman as the ushers are removing you from me today. And when the ushers will remove you, you will never rest. I'll kill you. I'll kill your mama. I'll kill your papa. You forgot where you are. Very simple. Very easy. Those things that ushers are doing here, and you cost them. Look at the woman did not talk because she knew her problem. It was the Elisha who said to Gehazi, don't worry, remove your two hands. She is troubled. Look at him. Okay, go ahead.
And the man of God said, let her alone.
Leave her alone.
For her soul is vexed.
For her soul is troubled.
Within her.
Within her.
And the Lord had hid it from me.
Are you hearing him? The Lord did not reveal to me that something happened to the woman. A whole Elisha. A whole Elisha. If not you. The man is not seeing, you know. Let me take you to a man who is seeing monkey and pussycat every night. The man is not saying, you forgot the power resting on me. Thinking that God will begin to reveal this rubbish. He don't die, you know die. Every time I will not rest. Now you don't die, you don't die. You don't know who is God. God is too big. He doesn't complain on what he can do because he's above those things. He is above all. The Bible said that he who is above all. He's above everything. Whether you don't die, whether you are sick, God is above them. Whether you are in sorrow, whether you are crying, whether you are lamenting, God is above those things. All you need from God is action. 28.
Then she said, did I desire a son of my Lord?
I didn't ask any child from you, my Lord.
Did I not say? Do not deceive me.
Do not deceive me.
Verse 29. Then he said to Gehazi. Guide up thy loins. And take my staff in thy hand.
Take my staff in your hands.
And go thy way.
Go to the house of the Shunammite woman.
If thou meet any man, salute him.
If you see a man you know on the road or a woman you know on the road, don't salute.
And the mother of the child, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth,
Elisha,
I will not leave thee.
I will not leave you.
And he arose.
And Elijah, through the words of the woman, arose
and followed her.
The woman. Jehovah Nadendo, you are God, and your own soul, Elisha, is liveth in him. Me, the mother of the child, I will not go with your servant, I will go with you. And when he arose,
and Gehazi passed on before them.
And as they were going, Gehazi passed ahead of them because the message was ahead of them. He was still on the mount when Gehazi left them from the mountain. And as they were going, Elisha and the woman met Gehazi on the road. And what happened?
And laid the staff upon the face of the child.
Gehazi laid the staff upon the child.
But there was neither voice.
No voice.
Nor hearing.
Nor hearing.
Therefore,
he
went again to meet him.
He went again to meet him.
And told him saying. The child is not awakened.
The child could not awake.
Verse 32. And when Elisha was come into the house.
When Elisha was coming to the house by himself.
Behold.
Behold.
The child was dead.
The child was dead indeed.
And lay upon his head.
He laid upon the child.
He went in therefore.
He went in and out.
And shut the door.
And shut the door.
Upon them twain.
Without bringing the mother in, even Gehazi did not go in.
And prayed unto the Lord.
And prayed unto the Lord.
Verse 34. And he went up.
He went up.
And lay upon the child.
Lay upon the child.
And put his mouth upon his mouth.
The mouth on the mouth.
And his eyes upon his eyes.
On the eyes.
And his hands upon his hands. And he stretched himself upon the child.
He pressed himself upon the child.
And the flesh of the child. Was warm.
Waxed warm.
Then he returned. And walked in the house.
And walked around in the house where the child was led.
To and fro. And went up. And stretched himself upon him.
Pressed himself upon the child.
And the child sneezed 7 times.
And
the child opened his eyes. Verse 36. And he called Gehazi.
Outside.
And said
to him,
call the Shunammite.
Woman.
So he called her. And when she was come into
came into,
he said,
take
up thy son.